know what you're thinking. What in the world is this guy doing? Yeah, I think the same thing every time I see someone on TV using a spinning reel upside down and cranking it backwards. That show lost all credibility with me right there. Today, I'm breaking down 6 common spinning reel mistakes I've seen way too often from beginners and people that should know better. We're talking about reels mounted backwards, using the wrong line, and a couple of things that'll absolutely destroy your reel if you're not careful, especially in saltwater. Let's make sure you're not doing any of these. One of the mistakes new fishermen make is they go down to Walmart or Academy and they go, oh, I'm gonna catch a big fish. So they go down and they buy a 100-pound test braid or monofilament line, and then they go buy a little reel, and then they go put a 100-pound test line on a little tiny reel. And that is totally mismatched for what it's supposed to be. If you go put this 100-pound test line on this 2500 spinning reel that I use for wade fishing, you could probably cast it about 20 yards. So the heavier line, it's great for going, straight down and catching a big snapper and bringing it up off the bottom, big snapper or grouper. But for casting and distance, you want that smaller diameter, that lighter line to cast out. So the next thing to know about your reel is whether or not it has an anti-reverse switch on it. So sometimes these can inadvertently get switched. So this is a Pin Battle 3 2500. This is a Pin Battle 3 8000. And this 8000 does not have an anti-reverse switch on it. On this 2500, there is a reverse switch on it, so you can wind the reel backwards. So especially for somebody that's new to spinning reels and they don't know, the right way to reel it and stuff, and if you give this to a friend, you might want to double check that they don't flip that switch so it's off. You always want to have that thing on so that you're only reeling forward. If you start reeling backwards, you're going to throw line all over the place. For those of you wade fishing, treat this reel like oxygen. If you dunk this reel into the water, it's like suffocating or drowning yourself. You're gonna kill that reel if you get it submerged in salt water. So if you get a tangle in the end of your line, or you get a big fish on that you're fighting to get unhooked and you're out wade fishing, you wanna make sure that reel, take your rod, get it tucked up underneath your arm and protect it right here so it doesn't fall into the water. I see too many people stick the rod back here and then they're working on the tangle and they get the reel submerged in the water. If you get a tangle on the end and you're all by yourself, take the rod and stand it straight up and hold it up straight in the air and work on your issue straight below you. The best thing to do is, if you get a tangle like that, walk it back to the boat or walk over to one of your other wade fishing buddies and have them hold your rod while you get it untangled, or have them untangle it for you. If you get a little spray from the boat, spraying salt water on it, or if you accidentally, kind of just dip it briefly in there, you want to make sure you get it out of the water and clean it when you get back to the dock immediately. I recommend that people do not spray it with city water with chlorine. I've been told by reel experts that, and you can see it too if you've ever seen city water on things where it starts to get that little green rust on it. Chlorine is a corrosive. And if you spray these reels, they will start corroding with that chlorinated water. If you want to wash it with water, use distilled water, bottled water that doesn't have any chlorine in it, or use a reel cleaner. There are a number of different reel cleaners out there. I will link a number of them down in the video description if you want to get your hands on them. And that's what I do. I spray it with the reel cleaner, and then I take my paper towel and I'll wipe it down with that. I'll put some reel cleaner on a paper towel and I'll wipe that down my fishing rod. Oh no, I didn't cock the bail back on the spool, so now I don't have a way to reel the line on. So one way to address this issue of not having the bail open is that you can remove the spool off of the reel. So loosen up the drag all the way till it unscrews off, and then you can open the bail, pull the bail back, and then you can put the spool back on and tighten it back up, and then close the bail. So that's how to solve that problem if you ever run into that where you tie the line on, you didn't put the line inside the bail. Reiterate my pet peeve on seeing people hold a spinning reel upside down and then reeling it backwards. That is not how a spinning reel is designed to work. The spinning reel always is at the bottom. A bait caster, on the other hand, is on top. The spinning reel, you always crank forward. If you want to crank with your right hand and hold the rod in your left hand, you need to switch the reel handle from this side over to this side. All spinning reels allow you to do that.
So if you've been making any of these mistakes, hey, no shame. The good news is they're easy to fix. If you want to get more out of your gear, be sure to check out my Beginner's Guide to Spinning Reels video here. I go deep into the setup, setting the drag and spooling the line. And if you want to learn a bunch of tips on how to take care of your fishing rods, check out my rod mistakes video here.